She's stuck with it for life, which instills in her a sense of hopelessness that this is who she is. This quote is from the parent of a child diagnosed with an internalizing disorder. Internalizing disorders like anxiety and depression are the most common form of psychopathology in youth, affecting nearly 1 in 3 children. The impact of this disorder can be severe, ranging from trouble at school and difficulty making friends to self-harm and, tragically, even suicide. This highlights the urgent need for understanding the development of these disorders in order to inform early intervention. Past work has identified an association between temperament, or a child's personality, and the development of these disorders. Specifically, negative emotionality, a type of temperament characterized by sadness, fear, and irritability, is a particularly relevant risk factor for the development of internalizing disorders. However, temperament is biologically based and relatively stable through early life, which means it's hard to target in treatment. On top of that, telling parents that their child is likely to develop an internalizing disorder based on an unchangeable and predetermined factor is likely to exacerbate those feelings of hopelessness. Therefore, in order to better inform treatment by focusing on factors that we can change, my thesis examined the role of 2 modifiable cognitive biases, or types of distorted thinking, as predictors of internalizing symptoms above and beyond the role of negative emotionality. The first cognitive bias I examined was interpretation biases, or the negative interpretation of a neutral situation. For example, if a child with negative interpretation biases is giving a speech and they notice somebody yawning in the audience, they may think that person finds them boring instead of thinking they might just be tired. The second cognitive bias I examined was anxiety sensitivity, or the fear of anxiety-related sensations, like worrying that somebody might notice that you're feeling anxious because your hands are shaking. To examine the associations between both of these cognitive biases, negative emotionality, and internalizing symptoms, I examined a sample of data from 105 anxious youth aged 8 to 12. The results of my analyses revealed that both cognitive biases significantly predicted internalizing symptom severity above and beyond the role of negative emotionality. This suggests that treatments targeting cognitive biases can make a meaningful difference for youth with internalizing symptoms despite biologically based vulnerabilities like temperament. The good news is that interventions targeting cognitive biases already exist and are effective in reducing internalizing symptoms. This finding is not only a novel contribution to the field, but can also help inspire hope for anxious children and their families. Thank you.